Yo, what's the word, y'all? It's Mac 11's MMA here. Um, gonna give you a little UFC Kansas City. My predictions, and I'll obviously see the first one on the screen already. But yeah, these are my predictions for Prates versus Garry. Um, yeah, I don't love the card. Or no, I mean it's actually a pretty good fight night. Um, there's a couple fights I want to see. There's actually a good like 5 or 6. Probably half the fights I want to see. It's just a lot of fights on this card, I feel like. Starting with this one. Jocelyn Edwards versus Chelsea Chandler. Um, I don't give a fuck about this. I remember watching Jocelyn Edwards, her last fight. I want to say she won a close one. I don't know. I'm going with Edwards by decision. Close one. Just that's a safe bet for any chick fight, basically. Not expecting too much. Here we go, though. Timmy Kwamba versus Roberto Romero. This one's kind of an interesting one. Timmy Kwamba's obviously, he's been in the UFC for a little bit now. Or, I mean, not even. He's 0-2 in the UFC, though. Roberto Romero's 0-1. But he had that short notice fight against David Onama. Kind of recently. Maybe, I don't remember what card that was. Like 309 or something, maybe? I don't know. But, he won the first round. And it was like, he was like a super heavy underdog. He won the first, lost the last, second two. I think he dropped Onama. He actually had a good performance, in my opinion. And I don't know. I've kind of gone back and forth with this, but I do think Romero's going to get done. I think he knocks out Kwamba. I think he'll be well prepared going into this fight. Obviously, he put up a decent performance in his first one. Kwamba's obviously already been in these waters and like been tested against better people, but I think Romero's going to get done. I think it's like I've said before, it's always good for more Mexican fighters, more quality Mexican fighters in the UFC. That's what Dana loves and everything. So, if Romero's good, we'll definitely notice it. Charo Negro for the win. Next one, Jacqueline Amorim versus Poliana Viana. Amorim by sub. Yeah, I don't even know why I'm going by sub instead of by decision, but I got Amorim. Poliana's not very good. Amorim's solid. I don't really have a lot to say. I don't know a lot about the woman fighters other than at the top or very like select few that I know about. So I didn't even do much fucking research into this one. But yeah, Amorim by submission in round 2. She has some subs on her record. I think she'll get it done by sub again. Good for her. Cameron Simon, Malcolm Wellmaker. This is a good fight. I'm really excited for this one. Yeah, I chose Wellmaker for the first round knockout. But I quite like Cameron Simon. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's a cool dude. I've seen him on like Instagram, YouTube, and shit. He's a cool dude. But he's just been given tough matchups. And Wellmaker's got power. He's a cool guy. I follow him on Instagram as well. Cause he's like a big he's like a welder or something. And it's like his like main job, and he fights on the side or something. I don't even know. I guess fighting's probably his main thing. But he's like very hard, like a blue collar worker. He always posts about that on his Instagram. But he's got hands, and I mean Talbot put Simon out. I think Wellmaker can as well. I think it sucks for Simon. I wish they gave Simon, I don't know. Give Simon an old guy. Let him get run through that shit. But nah, it's fine. They keep giving him these type of guys. That sucks. But yeah, I got Wellmaker winning. I don't know how good Wellmaker is, but I do think he'll put out Simon. Pretty quickly. Maybe in an early exchange. Couple minutes in, or maybe even within a minute. Not that Simon's bad, I just think Wellmaker's just a lot better on the feet, in my opinion. Damon Blackshear versus Alatangeli. I don't know how to fucking say that shit. The Mongolian Knight. Damon's on a roll. Damon should be a ranked fighter. He's really good. He always impresses me, honestly, in the cage. He's a great grappler. I think he's one of those guys with Bryce Mitchell and Korean Zombie, I think, that has a twister submission in the UFC's history. And, I mean, he's won his last 2 by submission. I remember he won, I think that was earlier this year. Maybe, might have been late last year. But I'm pretty sure it was early this year. He already had a submission win. So he's already getting in the cage again. He probably should be fighting a ranked guy. Not like bantamweight's that strong. But, yeah, this would be a good another win. You know, he could, like, definitely get a rank shot off this. I think he'll, even though Ala Tangeli is a good grappler himself, I think Blackshear is probably one of the best grapplers at 135, and also uh, maybe the most dangerous submission threat at 135. Like, at least outside the rankings, he definitely is. I'm not thinking too heavy right now, but I'm pretty sure. I think he is genuine. I think Black Shear. He's a crazy jiu-jitsu and great submissions, and I think he gets it done in the first against Ala Tengeli. Cool. Chris Gutierrez versus John Castaneda. This is like, it's like, this is just like a fight. Like, I don't even know how to explain this. This is like, and it's nothing against either of these dudes, but like, Gutierrez and Castaneda, I literally don't think either of these guys are going up or down. They're kind of at that level, They're decent fighters. They're in the UFC. They probably do very well in the PFL featherweight tournament. I mean, will they? No, PFL. Nah, we're not gonna get into that. PFL's pretty fucking loaded, in my opinion. Not loaded, but they got real talent. I don't know if they do that well over there, but you know what I'm saying. I think these guys would do pretty good. I just think Gutierrez is a bit better than Castaneda. I think he's just fought better people, lost, less. How do I say it? Convincingly in a way. Like, he's put up better shows than Castaneda. I think they're pretty similar records in the UFC. Obviously, if you've watched my other videos, I'm making this video just on Tapology. I got too many finals right now. I know that's like random to put in the middle of this fucking thing. But I got all these like finals and shit I'm dealing with at school, so I do not have the time to make a damn whole ass Google slide and write out the records and everything and give a very detailed analysis. I'm honestly just talking off the dome from what I've genuinely watched on TV. As somebody who loves watching the fights and analyzing the fights and everything myself, I didn't put any notes for shit, but in my opinion, Chris Gutierrez is a better fighter than John Castaneda. El Guapo over Sexy Mexi. Yeah, both are kind of goopy nicknames. Oh well. Evan Elder versus Gage Young. Gage Young. G Money, Gage Young. Woo! The real G Money in this bitch. Back from the dead and white against Evan Elder. Evan Elder, obviously, has not been the best in the UFC since he showed up. I want to say I don't even know. What is he, like 1-2? Does he even have a UFC win yet? Yeah, I think he does. He's 2-2. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. I just looked that up. Yeah, I don't know why I completely forgot about this guy. I don't think I've ever really seen him fight. No, I actually do remember Nazim Sadiqov. Okay, sorry, I just had to look at this. Gage Young is stepping in on short notice, obviously, for what's it called? Ahmad Hassanzada, who was a Contender Series dude, who what's it called? Got arrested for sexually assaulting a minor recently. So they cut him from the UFC because obviously that's something you're not supposed to do in life. And Gage Young is getting this opportunity. And good luck for Gage Young. He lost on the Contender Series to Quillan Salkeed. You know what I'm talking about. The Australian dude. He lost him in the Contender Series in like maybe 2 years ago. And he's won his fight since then. I think he's won like 2 fights since then or whatever. But Elder has the experience. That's the truth. Elder is 2-2 in the UFC. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. Though he hasn't fought too often. He's basically fought yearly. His last fight was July 24, and then before that, July 23. Actually, both the guys he beat, I don't even think are in the UFC anymore. Canaro Valdez and Darius Flowers. I mean, they might still be on the roster, but I don't think either of those guys are still in the UFC. But yeah, I think Elder has the he's been there. He's been there, done that. That's a simple way to say it. He's been there, he'll get it done. Period. Matt Schnell versus Jimmy Flick. I don't think Jimmy Flick's that good. Matt Schnell has been ranked before. Yeah, I know he's old, falling off and all, but like Matt Schnell might knock out. Fuck it, it'll be good. I think it's a hometown fight for him, to be honest. So I think it'll be a good chance for him to show he's still got it. I know he like kind of retired before, but like he's back. Get a good win against Jimmy Flick, and then in your home crowd, and maybe actually retire after that. I don't even know. But yeah, knockout in the third round. Machinal's gotten a knockout show before in his career. He's gotten a few. Fuck it, he'll do it again. Fuck Jimmy Flick. You should not fuck Jimmy. I really don't care for Jimmy Flick. Aliskerov versus Muniz. I'll just be honest, and I know everybody dropped Aliskerov from the hype train after the Whitaker knockout. I don't hate Aliskerov. I really don't hate him. I think that just Robert Whitaker was way too high of a matchup at this point in his career. And I think he's going to show it again against an older guy like Andre Muniz. And yeah, second round knockout. I think maybe Muniz been around a lot. He could survive for a bit, maybe. I always been knocked out by Paul Craig for it stuff, but survive for a bit. But I think Aliskerov will put him out. Aliskerov, I mean, he's good. I think all of his wins are finishes. I mean, his only 2 losses are Khamzat. Before he got knocked out by Khamzat. I think he got knocked out by Khamzat. And knocked out by Whitaker. Yeah, he's had basically a year to get his chin to rest. I don't think Muniz is going to pose him any threat, knock him out. I think Ikram gets it done. I think Ikram, we're going to give him a couple more fights before he can get in the rankings. But I don't think he's a bad fighter necessarily. Randy Brown versus Nick Dalby. I think this will be simple. Randy Brown, Nick Dalby, they've both been around. These are both like kind of UFC veterans at this point. These guys have both been around for a while. Rude Boy is just better at this point in his career. Rude Boy's like probably in that like 16 to 20 rank if every fighter was ranked and like from 1 to like however many like to 100. Probably be like right outside the rank. Probably be ranked like 18 in the welterweight division. So I think Dalby's Dalby's older too. Past his like best days. Dalby's a good fighter though, but I think Brown will just probably 30-27 win. Maybe clinch him up, jab him, leg kicks. Randy Brown's a very simple fighter, but a very good at what he does, and I think he will get the job done against Dalby with relative ease. I don't think he puts him out though. Michael Pereira, Michel Pereira versus Abus Magomedov. I don't get how Michel Pereira is the favorite. I think that Anthony Hernandez, the fight against Fluffy, dude, that told so much to me about who he is as a fighter. Like Michel Pereira is not that good. He doesn't beat anybody who's that good. He has a lot of losses. He's only like 31, and he's like 30-14 or I don't know. I just made up that record off the top of my head. I'll look it up for you if you really need me to. But what's he called? I'm gonna see his record real quick. 31-12. It's pretty fucking close. I was working on 27-6-1. They've both fought a fuck ton. I was just a couple years older, but I was has been good. I mean, other than the Strickland loss, he just gassed out. I mean, he's done well in the UFC even. I mean, I think he's a more dangerous fighter than fucking. He's 3-2 in the UFC. Knocked out his first guy and then lost Strickland. Damn, that was his second UFC fight. What the fuck? And then Barallo. So yeah, he's lost to killers in the decision against Warley Alves and Arm Triangle. I remember that one against Pereira kind of recently. I was at 308. I just think Magomedov is a good fucking fighter. He has a better guy. I think he has a slightly better gas tank than Pereira, which is crazy because they both lost because of their gas tanks previously. But I think Abu seems like he'd probably the type that would have done more work on it. And I think Abu is a better fighter. I think Abu's more deserving of a ranking than Michel Pereira is in terms of what I think they can achieve. I don't think he'll fight for a title. But I do think I think first round will be probably interesting. I bet you they both hit each other with some wacky shit. But neither of them is going to put each other out. And then the second round, I think Pereira will be a little more tired than Abus. And Abus will put him out. Against the fence, uppercut, and fucking, I don't even know. Something like that. But that's the way I see it happen. Next, Giga Chikadze versus David Onama. I went really back and forth with this one. I don't mind either of these guys. I think right here is a very simple experience is going to get the win. I think, okay, I see it going two ways. I don't think either of these guys finishes the other. I know Onama's dangerous, but I don't think he'll finish Chikadze. If this is not a close fight, it will be Chikadze 30-27, just like winning, just being the better striker. And Chikadze is a proven striker, fought against some of the highest level featherweights out there. So yeah, but if it's close, I do think they're gonna lean on Nama, and I have my thought process behind this is there's not a lot of African fighters with a lot of hype right now. It'd be good to get an African fighter in the rankings that actually is like that'll fight often, because he fought he fought Romero, we talked about earlier, recently, but I think if it's a close fight, they'll lean towards Onama because of even if he's like losing, like even if it should be like 29-28 for Chikaze, I see him go 29-28 Onama because there's a lot more you could do with him. Chikaze's already pretty much like proven like what his level is. You know what I mean? He's below the Arnold Allens of the world, but he's above the I don't know. Who's like 15 and like 14 at featherweight. I don't even know who's there anymore. I'm trying to think. He's probably above like Bryce Mitchell. Is he though? I don't know. He's above 50. He's ranked like at 13 or whatever he is. That's like a very perfect ranking for Chikaze. He's not insane, but he's a really good striker, and he should be able to get the job done by decision. But if it's close, do not be surprised if they go for Onama. I do think there's more pull possible from Onama, specifically the need for more quality African fighters at the moment. So yeah. Next, this is pretty simple. I've kind of been heavy on Ming Yang by knockout round 1. I think Ming Yang will be a good prospect at light heavyweight. I don't think he's a champion, but I think we can see what he does against Andy Smith. Andy Smith seems to be pretty checked out. That Reyes fight, he seemed very checked out. And I think that momentum will continue over, and I think Zhang will probably put him out. Zhang probably, who knows if he hits harder than Reyes. Reyes is the fucking shit right now. But, it'll be an interesting fight. I don't even think it'll be an interesting fight, actually. I just lied to you. I think Zhang puts him out pretty quickly. And Smith will retire. It'll be sad for Smith. If anybody's an Anthony Smith fan out there, Lionheart's a legend, but the Mountain Tiger is here. Simple way to put it. Zhang by first round knockout. Then we'll see what we can do with Zhang after that. Garry Prates. Yeah. I love Prates. I really want Prates to pull this off. Fuck. Kind of want to change my pick, just Prates first round knockout, but that would just be what I want, not what I think is going to happen. And the truth is, these are prediction videos. Prediction videos is me predicting what's going to happen, not what we want to happen. So sadly, as sad as it may be, as much as I would love to see CP all over my screen winning. I don't even, I tried to come up with something, I don't even know. As much as I want CP to flatline Garry, it's just, I don't know, it's just not going to happen. Fuck you, Ian Garry. I actually really hate Ian Machado Garry. I don't think he's a good fighter. No, that's a lie. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's a top 5 fighter, but he is just so goddamn boring. He's a very intelligent fighter. He does what he wants to. He does what he needs to do to win. He'll probably end up I think he probably will win his way into a title shot after this fight. I don't think he'll win here and then win one more fight and get a title shot because I think he's smart enough to win. And honestly, I think if you rematch him and Shavkat, I think he'll get the win. I think he almost was a little worried at first and then realized Shavkat wasn't as good as he thought. You know what I mean? Anyways, yeah, I got Garry by decision. I also wouldn't be shocked if a submission maybe. And he almost missed Shavkat. We have no idea how good Prates is on the ground, but I really don't want to see. I don't know. I really don't see Garry getting many finishes in the rest of his career. I know that's interesting to say, but I don't know. I think he's very dialed back. His striking's not the same as it was. It seems like it feels like it's gone down. I mean, he's still probably a great fighter, but I don't know. I think he'll get the decision win. Probably probably not 50-45. Maybe actually I'll go 50-45. I feel like Garry will win every round. I just feel he's technically a better fighter than Prates. I mean, if Prates can genuinely just keep it standing though, I don't think he will be though. Garry will be smart and just try and clinch him and do all this bullshit to get the win. But maybe Prates flatlines him. And I actually left this comment on an Instagram post not that long ago, and I has 1,800 likes because I keep getting I keep noticing it whenever I click the heart on my Instagram. But I wrote, if Prates sleeps Garry, I'll name my first kid Carlos. And that's the truth. That's the truth. I will fucking do it. I love Prates. He's probably my second favorite fighter in the UFC at the moment. So, please, Carlos, Please get this done. But I'm just telling you what I think is gonna happen. Anyways, that's all I got for y'all. I don't know what else to say. You got any thoughts, any predictions you guys have? You can leave it in the comments. Any sort of discrepancies in my thought process about what's gonna happen, or any sort of whatever the fuck you want to say. Let me know. Let it be known to me. But yeah, that's my predictions. Peace out, y'all. Have a great April 22nd.